Forbidden Frequency.
Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Forbidden Frequencies. I go by the name of 12NG, and I'm the type of guy that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
It's Yasir in the house representing one love, like I said the last time, and I'm gonna keep saying it. The only thing that's gonna get us forward in this world, you heard?
Facts.
Just your that. It's Kev, Kabir, known as Kev. I'm just here to spread some love and wisdom. That's all it is, baby.
Tell them, boy.
Just your that.
Alright, guys. So today's topic. Well, first of all, I always want to start off be like, yo, how's everybody doing today? How we feeling? You know, I feel like today is probably the worst day for me. I'm fucking sick. Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know about y'all. How y'all feeling today?
And I'm feeling blessed. Another day on this beautiful planet. You know, I'm in the space now where I try to move in abundance. Every morning I give thanks. Every day on this earth is a blessing.
I like that. I feel like we need to be more about that, especially that kind of type of time. You know, a lot of people wake up negative, off the rip. They wake up and just start frowning, bro. I definitely need to be more happy about what you have.
Yes, sir. How about you, Kabir? How we doing today?
I always give gratitude. It's a new day, new opportunity, especially, you know, to meet individuals like you guys. And I don't have much to say right now. But, the only way is going up, and that's what we're doing. We're raising the vibes and just showing love, and that's it. That's all it is.
Yes, sir.
Facts. We definitely gotta take note that we're doing a lot. Like, this is crazy. You know, we went from no mics to mics. You know, there's official out here to chairs. Like,
listen, we're moving on up.
One step at a time. But I got a quick question. Did you steal Kabir's pen, bro?
Are you pocketing my pen, my boy?
That's not the one he gave you. He had to get up when I asked him for the pen.
Yeah, just solid.
Hold on, I got it right here.
That's the way.
This is the guy you can't give him your lighter. He might take off with the lighter.
I don't even smoke no more, so I know what you're talking about.
Oh, hey.
Me quedo callado, no.
What happened, Sway?
I get tired of it, man. I don't know about y'all, but I just get tired. I guess it could be that I'm smoking some shitty weed. No, it's probably not. It's just I think I just transitioned. You know, you just get tired of the same thing, man. And I just want better for myself, and I understand that getting high all the time is good. Don't get me wrong, like I love it, but it's not something that's beneficial to me. I've noticed when I smoke, you know, I get really procrastinate. I procrastinate a lot. You know, and I say I'm gonna do things and I don't. So I took a hard reflection today, and I was like, look, I think it's time you let that go. You're better than that. You don't need it. You know, and if I truly wanna, you know, be at that frequency where I'm striving, where I'm pushing and all that, you know, smoking weed is good enough, but it's not. I heard that, you know, they did a study about people who smoke weed for a long period of time. It's actually worse than cigarettes and alcohol. I don't know if I knew that. Over a period of time, it's worse than cigarettes and alcohol.
I'm gonna tell you something about that, but I'll let you finish.
Nah, I'm good.
How so?
How so? Listen, I've been smoking since the age of 13. I'm 28, turning 29 in June.
Hold on. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm just saying, like, I disagree with you. I don't think it's bad, depending on how you consume it.
Well, you know, the minute you start lighting that shit up, like the minute you light it up, it's horrible. The fuse change everything, yeah?
I'm curious to know what you read, though, like, specifically.
You remember. I didn't read it. I saw it off of TikTok. Now,
okay.
A lot of people, TikTok, find your own information. But I believe that TikTok is a great source of information. It's been like the Google, and that's the reason why they're trying to ban it. But yeah, like, the guy did a study. Like I can say from personal experience, my memory has been worse. I've been smoking a lot on that, and I find myself forgetting about the most common things. Like, for example, I have a 5-month daughter, right? And sometimes I forget that she's there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, sometimes it just crosses my mind. Like, I guess maybe I'm so busy or so thinking about so many things. Mind you, this is already me high already, right? That I just forget. And it's crazy, right? That how the hell you forget about your daughter? But I feel like, to me, I can't speak for everybody, but to me, that's what happens. And I'm just trying to be better, man. So
Amen to that.
So I would have to say, I think you should definitely go back to that video and tag me, because I'm gonna comment on that post saying bullshit, because it is bullshit. But let's not make this into a debate. I'm just sharing based off of what my awareness is and the people who educated me on it. Is actually all my info that I get is not from TikTok or anything. It's from people who actually grow, and that they do this because it's a lifestyle for them. But with that being said, I don't want to get too into detail about that. But I definitely do believe that depending on how you consume it, it depends on how it could affect your body. Like if you smoke it with like tobacco and stuff like that, I think it negatively can affect you.
Okay.
But if you inhale and you smoke it, depending on how you light it, now if you're using the propane and shit like that, and you're inhaling the propane, yes, that is bad. But as far as they sell little things. I forgot the name of it, where there's like a wire basically. You light that up, and you don't have to torch it. You don't consume any like propane or any of that. So there's different ways to inhaling and smoking weed.
Well, since we're on that topic, we might as well go deep, man. What are some of the benefits? Like, what do you see that ways that you could smoke it and still be beneficial to you?
I mean, I haven't smoked since the last episode. When was the last episode? It's been a while. And even before that, I was doing like a detox, and I'm still going on the detox. So at this moment in my life, I don't want to smoke because my soul, my spirit is telling me not to smoke. Right now, I'm just enfocado, bro. Focused. And I'm not falling off that groove right now. So, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go against it because I love weed, bro.
Right.
I love it. Like if weed was a person, I'll get married to it. No bullshit. Shit. In fact, when I had Bullet as a puppy, I was gonna name him Kush. To be honest with you.
Imagine that, yo, Kush.
But
I'm on the same thing though. As far as the last time I smoked was the last episode too.
It was like 2 weeks now, no?
Yeah, 14. We celebrating 14 days sober. 14 days sober.
Sober, yes, we're ready to get sober. Celebrating 1 day sober. Hey.
I see you with the alkaline water. What you got? What you got in there? What you got in there?
a little bit of lime with some cucumbers.
Okay. Okay.
That's something I need to get into because not really much.
H3O, baby.
So go ahead, Vlad.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I was trying to explain to you guys what was going on in here, but every time I close my eyes,
My man was in Jupiter.
it was like my forehead. It was like my forehead just opened up. There was clogs clicking. I feel like I died, came back to life. Even that, I'm gonna explain that experience. Like, I literally felt I couldn't hear nothing or see nothing but space, and it was just quiet. And I felt like I was just amongst a whole bunch of other souls. And I really feel like that's what death feels like. You know how they say you transition in your energy and you can't be created nor destroyed. I feel like I experienced death and came back to life. I feel like I experienced the 10th dimension, if you will. What I saw was outer space, and it was just quiet, and I feel like I was just floating, and I feel like that's what death feels like. I feel like that's where all the other souls are or something, because it's just hard to explain into words. Something I feel like everybody should experience. As there's a reason why that thing is illegal, man. They don't want you to tap into that higher level.
I think we have to make it an attempt to do it again and then do a podcast video.
Well, that was the intention, but
That was.
we was
You know what we have to do too? Have it already set up. Like have this already set up, so we're just like boom, hit, go.
Not yet, for sure, definitely. It's gonna be a crazy experience though. Pero I'm down for it. Just microdose.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely microdose. Not that.
yeah. But I witnessed his soul leave the body and come back.
I knew what it was to have a person melt in front of me like that. Go ahead, good boy. I want to hear this. Okay.
This is like my third trip taking that flight.
This is your first time with group of people, though. Right?
First time with people.
Right.
I did it only by myself. I've done LSD and shrooms, hit different. No se compara, LSD. But with that being said, this trip, bro, I stopped breathing. I stopped breathing and I just started floating. And then from there on, I remember some door just appeared and it opened. And I just started like
Really?
floating, bro. As soon as that door opened, started floating. And that's when I forgot I was here with the light turned on. When that light turned on, when you guys turned on the light.
Bruh, this man was like,
Yeah, bro, you don't understand. But I feel like the light was me leaving my body.
Yeah, I saw that. So what happened? Let me explain to you guys what happened there. So I reached a moment that I didn't want to be there anymore.
I was like, yo, red alert, like that SpongeBob guy.
Like I wasn't trying to scare anybody, but I reached a point where
It was too much. For
it
you.
was too much because an hour and a half after eating the
Gave
amount
yourself
that I ate,
more.
I ate more.
See, yeah,
And then another hour passed by, and I'm like, oh, this is it?
This is the
Let
peak.
me eat the other one. So I ended up eating like 3.3 grams.
Nigga ate a whole.
So that this flight just kept going higher altitude, higher altitude, higher altitude. And I was looking for something. I felt like I needed the lights to be on. So the lights did me some justice.
But they not to
They gave me
prevent
some
this.
comfort. But my man's right here, he started taking off flights somewhere else. Like he was like this.
Yo, listen, remember when y'all just stayed there? I stayed there and then I didn't hear nothing. I forgot I was even here. When I'm telling you, my body, I felt like I was just floating. Like there's this movie that Kid Cudi did. I felt like I was just floating in galaxy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, just floating. And then from there on, like, I was just tripping. And then all I hear is, Yasir brought me back to life. He was like, yo, you good? And then that's
That
when I came
shit was
to, yo, it brought me right back. I'm like, oh shit, I am good.
No, yo, I was scared because your face was pale, your lips was pale. I saw you leaving, bro. I saw you leaving, and I'm like, fuck, I need the lights on, but he needs the lights off. We gotta sacrifice. So then I said, I need some water. Namir gives me some water, and this was weird. Like when I drank the water, it's like my eyes turned into the water, and I watched the water go down all the way down to my stomach. Like it was so weird. I heard it, everything, but that was scary.
Definitely.
It was scary though.
Unlike you guys, I didn't really have. There was a moment though. There was a moment where it got to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was a moment where I was like, wait, whoa. I was there for it. I was like, wait, this is a little bit too much, But I did find myself to a point where I was really balanced. Okay, that was, like I said, that was also my first time doing the whole shroom thing, especially those. Like I said, when people tell me, yo, these are hard, I'm the type of guy that I want to know. The only way you want to know is by experiencing. And when I tell you that shit was crazy, it was crazy, guys. I did that type of shrooms is not something to joke around with. Si se cree grande, that's gonna make you feel small, without a doubt.
Golden teeter has nothing on it.
What? There's more? There's like,
Of course, bro.
I mean, I'm not educated on that.
My first trip
We
was
need that golden.
Nah, golden teacher is nothing, bro.
Yeah?
I beat a whole quarter of golden teacher, and I was just chilling, bro.
Yeah.
Chilling, playing Call of Duty, vibing, good music, and I even started doing push-ups. I felt, how the energized, you feel that energy.
Right.
I felt that energy, but I even started meditating with golden teacher, bro.
Really?
And I was chilling,
Nice.
yeah. But when my second trip,
Right.
when I'm over here like, oh, golden teacher was nothing. The same day that I did golden teacher, when I came down, I had like a quarter left,
Okay.
and I was just like, oh, this is nothing. Let me just eat the quarter. I ate the quarter, and then after that, I was just chilling, vibing. I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Now I want to peak higher.
You want to peak higher?
Yeah. So when I peaked higher, it was with that penis envy, bro.
Yeah, that's
When I tried that, I'm telling you, my second trip,
You had a whole 8, right?
I had a whole eighth, and I regretted it the instant I felt that.
Nah.
I went to the bathroom, like, when you eat shrooms, it's like your stomach starts bubbling up. And
I was farting.
and yo, when I started bubbling up, I remember I went to the bathroom, and as soon as I started walking to the bathroom, I felt like I was just shrinking, getting shorter. And I remember that, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I got to whatever, sat down in the toilet. Yo, I let it rip. As soon as I let it rip, I left my body, bro. Like consciously, I was somewhere else. I felt like I went to a different dimension, and I connected with somebody, which It was like one of my, I believe it was a spirit guide. And after that, I started panicking. I'm like, oh shit, am I losing myself? Am I losing my mind? Like, am I going crazy right now?
It's crazy because it really does feel that real. Sometimes if you don't have a grasp to reality and understand that, yo, this is just a process, like I'm good, I'm still here, it's over. It takes you on that spin. And I feel like and we said this multiple times in your career when it was happening. I feel like you were fighting it, which why it was taking you to a crazy ride. If you were just like, I am good, and then maybe meditate, maybe like let it flow through you, then maybe it would have been a better ride for you. But since you just couldn't believe it was just so much one after another that it felt crazy, you know.
I would add one up for me on this flight, on this Delta flight. I don't know if it's, matter of fact, this was probably Air Force One flight. So for me, one thing that I realized, I could not stop laughing. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
We was laughing the whole night, basically.
And just like Kabir's first trip, my first trip, my intention was to find myself, and I thought going into this flight on Air Force One, front row seat.
See, for real.
I thought, I'm just gonna figure something out, due to, connecting to trauma or something like that. And if you guys remember, I kept saying, time?
Yes, you were looking at us though.
Like crazy, bro.
I got up in your. Did I really get up? I don't know if I was just seeing
bro,
that.
You got it was to the point where me and Kabir trying to watch a movie, and you're just like,
right in
right
in the middle,
like, and just like this, like right here.
Looking at you.
You're looking at us, time, and then we're like, yes, time, and you're just there like, hello.
Yo, and he'll turn his head, he'll like,
yeah, like that, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It was like you weren't like that shit consumed you to the point where you were second guessing reality, bro. I think you were at the point where you're like, I don't think this is real, bro. Like I gotta make sure this is real, you know.
So there was. I'm gonna tell you, there was a scary thing about that, but so my lesson through that with the time thing was that you're in control. That was my lesson in that you're in control of your time and your perception on everything that you see. Like whatever you think about, you can project out, and you can see it out. So there was a time where there was a moment, this is scary, I don't know if the shrooms was fucking with me or what, but there was a point where I'm like, okay, so the game, the purpose of this game is to escape, the Matrix and all this stuff, right? So I was looking at you guys, and then I look at the TV. There was a movie playing.
Yeah, Kid Cudi. It was a great movie.
Yeah, and I swear to God, the movie was talking to me like, yeah, bro. I swear to God, the character in the movie looked at me dead in my fucking soul and was like, yeah, this is the point. And then I look at you guys and I'm like, so we have to escape, and you guys are like, yeah. And then I heard Kabir tell me like, yeah, but you have to keep it down, because if certain people know that you're a certain level with the shit, basically you could get knocked off the map. You get what I'm saying? So that shit in its own was a lot to process, and that's why I was just so stuck with that.
And I love what you said, right, with time, right? And let's piggyback on that. Time, right? And like I said, I can't speak for all of us, but I believe time is not real, right? For the reason that you could time travel, right? Time travel wasn't something I believed in, right? I didn't think it existed, but you guys brought me up to that. How you can mentally take yourself from where you are now to where you want to be, or if you want to go back in time, right, and put yourself in a predicament where you want to feel something or you forget something, you could do that, right? And that's why I believe that when Platt kept saying time, is that he understood that time is nothing. It's something that we make up. It's just like the days in the week. All of a sudden, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, right? You put names on these so that you could act a certain way, right? Everybody says Mondays are horrible. Why? Because you put that in your head. That it's just another day, bro. It's just another day that you wake up. It doesn't have to be named, right? You could take the same motive, you could have the same actions toward it. But I really love the fact that you understood that, right? Time, right? And how important that is, right? And how much we can manipulate that, you know?
Yeah. So I remember that video you sent me on TikTok about that guy explaining that So we have Monday. We have these 7 days of the week,
Right.
and we are emotionally. It's crazy because it
Emotionally
makes
attached
sense.
to that.
Yeah. So like all of us, we're programmed. Especially us that are doing things that we don't like to do all week. Sundays you have a certain attachment to it because you're like, fuck, this is my last day off. Monday I gotta go back to work. So a lot of us don't like Mondays. Then we got Friday that everybody looks forward to.
Right.
And the universe, it's a whole nother day. The universe doesn't have a fucking calendar.
Doesn't have a name.
And that's crazy. When you put that into perspective, how we're tied to that, how we even act. Like nowadays Fridays is a celebration. Hashtag Oi celebrate. You know what I mean? Like I remember hearing that on the radio, and I used to hate that because it's like, it's like, okay, so, and I'm not judging anybody that does it. I've been there, and I'll still end up going maybe one day celebrating drinking, but a lot of us are literally just numbing our souls. We go out there drinking and you're running from something. Your conscious mind, you're lowering your frequency, and you're trying to numb that voice inside your head, which is, that's your God, that's your inner God trying to tell you, look, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and you're just running from it, trying to socialize. And I'm not knocking nobody for it. I see you, I see me in you. You guys don't even know it. When I talk to a lot of you guys, I can see all that because I've already been there, and I'm not judging nobody, but it is what it is. And I don't know if you guys want to say something on that before, because I have to add something else to it.
I just want to give my intake on what I learned. So after that, right, I spoke a lot about you guys where I was finally balanced and what I felt was my balance, right? And I think that was the lesson that I learned out of that. Balance, bro. And then just telling me that when you get to a point where you just accept it and you're balanced and you really, really do the best that you can to be balanced, I can turn into a different breed, and it's sometimes unrecognizable. Okay, I remember telling Kabir, like, yo, I feel so strong, I feel so powerful, and I was kind of like a little bit emotionless, where it wasn't that, it was just that I was so in control of my emotions, right? I wasn't letting anything, there was like a little force field around me, and I wasn't letting anything get in there, and I think this is good to understand, because you need balance. There's gonna be times when you jump into this game we call the Matrix and we call life, right? And you're not gonna get balanced because the point of the game is so that you don't have balance, right? So when you're going against the game, right, it's gonna be difficult, but you have to understand that finding balance is a key thing. It's one of the things that our people undermine. They really don't talk about because it's just things that they haven't been used to, So I'm really happy I went through that, right? Especially with you guys, right? I do think next time around, whenever that is, right? We said it, right? I think going forward, what we need to do, right, is get with more intent. Obviously, have us do it in a chill spot, but I feel like we can meditate, right? Because there was a point, and something I forgot to tell you guys. There was a point when Kavir started putting music, right? We started jamming with the lights and everything, and I swear to God, right? There was a second where I closed my eyes and I was just thinking of nothing, and all of a sudden the beat dropped, and I literally saw like a light, something. It was like purple, orange, like something. I was like, whoa, what is that? What is that?
Question though, because we were in sync when that happened.
Yeah,
did you see that come out the speaker?
No.
Where did you see it come from?
In my mind, like my eyes were closed.
Oh,
at
your
the
eyes
time.
were closed.
Yeah,
okay.
So bro, it was like, bro, I swear, that's why I really want to go back and do this and meditate and just have music, like nice chill music where you can relate to and see where we go.
I got some crazy music you can listen to, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna zone out. Yeah, bro, and it's crazy because the song is
meant for that. It's meant for that.
Yeah, it's made for people who are off shrooms. The song was actually made people who were on like tripping.
Yeah. And I heard like music like that, it opens the portal. So it's supposed to help you get into that different dimension you want to go to.
What's that type of music called? Like categorized under?
It's like some R&B sort of, like not even R&B. It's like house, trance sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like
But I feel like you could even do that with like 440 hertz music. You like that nice music where there's no words, nothing. It's just basic instruments just going constantly. Like I feel like things like that. Like I really want to push this. I really want to meditate into that because I feel like I'm gonna see some things I've never thought even existed.
So so I wanna rewind a little back. Time traveling.
Oh, I love that.
I'm gonna say it again. Time traveling. Right?
It exists, people. It exists.
So first of all, when I used to hear time traveling, I don't know what that movie's called, but it's
Back in the future.
Is it with the gray car?
Yeah,
the gray
Back in the
car and
Future,
shit. Like, yeah. So that's what I used to picture, but we are literally all time traveling, but we're not aware of it, And what do I mean by that? So check this out. If today you woke up, right, and you're thinking about something that happened yesterday, a traumatic event that happened in the past, and that's all you're thinking about all day, you're literally traveling back in time. When I ask you, oh, you remember what happened in the third grade? Remember we had this, that? And you sit there in your mind and you go back, you're literally going backwards into time, right? So when I ask you now, what do you plan on doing with this podcast? And we visualize this, we visualize that, and you're in the future now. You're projecting this, and you're literally time travel.
Yep.
And that's how that works. And it sounds crazy, and a lot of you guys, it might go over your head, but that's literally time.
Right, and I think a lot of people are gonna see past this because they don't understand that if you put yourself right, if you could put, let's say you go back a couple years, right, and you could put yourself and you feel the feelings and let's say you were thinking back of a memory when you were in Puerto Rico and you would think about the sun and you think about the way the trees move, the way you felt at the time, the way the sand feels. That's you going back in time, It's you get really good at it. I think you would get to a point where you physically feel like you're there for quite some time. I mean, I have that a lot when it comes to like I could imagine, I could go back in time when I went to Miami. My first time going to Miami, I've never been there, this and that. I go in there and we stand on this beach, bro, and I'm telling you, I can remember every single thing from that moment. And in that moment, it was just like, this is what life is. Like, I remember the sand, like the feet, like my feet being in the sand, the ocean, the type of people that were there, the wind blowing, all of that, and that's really time traveling, And you could use that in other ways too, right? You could get really good at it, right? And start becoming the person that you want to be. That's why when a lot of people says you have to become who you want to be, that's true to the fact. You have to put yourself in a position where you're there already, where you have everything that you want, and you have to ask yourself, like, yo, what do I need to do to get to there? And the same person that you're asking is going to be the same person that gives you the answers, right? It's going to be like, yo, you got to be more disciplined. You can't be doing this. You're not supposed to be doing this, but yet you're doing it. So, I feel like with time traveling, it gives you all the answers, but I feel like as human beings, since we've been conditioned to be like, nah, I can't do that. We're vibrating low. The limitations are made by you yourself.
A lot of ignorance.
Right?
Now, since you mentioned that, I must say this, that as I was saying was that since you have mentioned that, in order to attract different, you have to be different. You have to be a different version of yourself.
Right.
And I recently learned that, bro. Like when I say recently, was like in my last past relationships.
Right.
I realized I was attracting the same shit. And I was like, yo, bro, ¿qué pasó?
Right.
You get me? I want different.
You want different,
¿Qué está pasando?
Do you mind breaking down? You don't gotta go into every detail, but what do you mean attracting the same shit?
Like meaning as in like when I was 21, I had dated somebody it was a toxic ass relationship.
Right.
Then when I was 24, 25ish, dating somebody else, it was basically the same person in a different shell.
What was her name?
We almost got him for 4K. We almost got him.
Nah, but so with that being said, it was like, I'm like, hold on. That's when I took the time. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. And then that's where the celibacy took place. I went into deep, like, definition into me. Like I started Googling myself. I'm like, yo, hold on, what's going on?
Right.
And then after that, I was just like, okay, so in order for me to get something else, I have to be different because now you see different values. And then when you start like basically putting, more value into yourself, you become a different person. So then that's when I started realizing, like, hold on. and I started seeing what I was attracted to me. And then when I started attracting people with higher value, I'm like, oh, I'm understanding this shit. So then the moment that all of that happened, I was just like, okay, this is so fucking simple. It was in my face all along. I was just attracting the same shit because I was the same old person.
Yep. It's very simple like that, man. Some people just don't see it right in front of you too.
Yeah, bro. Crazy.
That accountability. One thing that's helped me with that, with taking accountability and being able to see stuff like that, is being able to view yourself from the outside in. You know, that's something that I feel like if a lot of us was to do, you would get out of that victim mentality, and when somebody calls you out on your shit, you won't, sit there playing the back and forth game, because if you're wrong, you're wrong.
It also gives you a lot clearer answers.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I step in here. I had a revelation today. I used exactly what he just mentioned, right? Saw myself from the outside looking in, right? Took myself not for Namir Garcia, just another human being. If I was somebody else looking at Namir, what would he see? And it was a hard look at myself, and there were a lot of improvements that need to be made. And I'm happy I did that. It didn't really take long, guys. When we talk about time for yourself, we don't mean hours and hours and hours and hours, right? Sometimes you just need 20 minutes where you sit there and do nothing and talk to yourself. I don't know how often you guys talk to yourself, but it's very important. Nobody knows you better than yourself, And if you really want answers, everybody likes to reach out to other people and this and that. Nobody's gonna give you the answer that you're looking for. They're gonna give you opinions, and that may not satisfy you until you look within. And that's what I did today, and I think I'm I'm a different breed than I was yesterday.
Bro, when people go to like certain therapy sessions, don't get me wrong,
they help.
They do help, but realistically, therapy sessions help because they basically like question you questions that you don't question yourself. So if you really like look at everything like from the outside perspective, they're basically questioning you, the reality of you. So if you sit here and take the time to question yourself that on a daily basis, you're gonna hold yourself accountable to shit, and you're gonna start growing from that. And that's the crazy shit about it.
Everybody wants this like secret formula, right? Yo, what I gotta do to be like this? What I gotta do for that? Look, free of charge, bro. Free of charge. You gotta look within. You want answers?
Yes, sir.
You wanna hold yourself accountable, right? You ask yourself, take some time, right? Let go of that ego, let go of that pride, and really figure out what's wrong with me. And that is, I'm telling you, that is the best way to fast track yourself to the best version of yourself, because I believe we could all get there. It's just a lot harder to do.
I don't mean to take it off topic, but one more note to the whole time traveling thing. This was taught to me a couple of years ago. Shout out to Aisha for putting me on this. But for any of us who lack being present, being in the present moment, when you really pay attention to your thoughts and what's going on, when you're not present, there's only 3 different places you could be: present, in the past, or in the future.
Right.
So right now, as we're speaking to you, as you're watching this, are you even paying attention? Right. And if you're not paying attention, it's okay, but where were you? Were you in the future? Were you in the past? So one of the things that was taught to me, because I know a lot of us, like with this, the attention span and all of that, is, when you're trying to be present, you could do something like move your hands, tap your hands, there's things like that to do. And there's different exercises you could do, but if anybody lacks with being present, it's really just, in the simplest terms, it's just you're either in the past or you're in the future. There's nowhere else you could be if you're not present, but one of those two.
And you also have to understand that the only thing you fully have control of is not the past, it's not the future, it's the present.
The now.
It's the here and now.
Well, actually, you do. I think you have control of your future, though, don't you?
For sure, yeah, because you have to. If you plan accordingly, you're gonna have to maneuver differently. You have to change your acting.